Hey, what's going on, everybody? This is Will of Will's Wellness, the body mechanic, and welcome to the Repair Shop podcast. I am here with Miss.
Monique Slaughter, your favorite realtor and mindset motivator.
Okay, see, one of the best. So, tell me a little bit about yourself.
That's the intro. How much time you got? No, just kidding. So I am very passionate about real estate. I have been in the industry for over 15 years. I managed to squeeze out 2 associate's degrees, 1 in office applications, 1 in accounting, as well as a bachelor's degree in business management. I am 1 class shy of a master's in human resources. Y'all, I will take that class one of these days. I don't know when. But
Next semester.
Right. Don't push me now. No. I am self-proclaimed certified nerd. I love reading. I love festivals. I like going outdoors. Have 3 amazing kids that are excelling. I don't know how, as me as their mom, but they are thriving. And that's me in a nutshell. Again, very passionate about real estate. So
Okay, real estate is it's today's next way. I see it. Everybody's trying to do it, but who's going to be the best? And I think it might be you.
I'm definitely going for it. So as a licensed realtor, again, I have 15 years experience in the industry. I have seen a lot of things. So my job, I feel like, is to help first-time homebuyers really understand the process. Once upon a time, I was a first-time homebuyer, and again, I was already passionate about real estate long before this happened. I was a first-time homebuyer where I feel like I was cheated and I was not necessarily poured into correctly. So my message is geared to anybody that may not understand the process or scared of the process. I also market the sellers too. So I'm skilled enough that if you've already had a home and you're trying to sell it, I'm a great negotiator. So I'm a little bit of everywhere because I know I have a calling to cover a lot of people.
Okay, a calling. That's the word right there. You getting called to it. But that also brings me into your purpose. Like, so real estate, was that your purpose? Like, do you feel like that's your go-to purpose in how to really serve the community?
That is an amazing question. And I would say real estate has been my passion. Like, I was the kid, crazy. I don't like this game now, but fell in love with Monopoly as a kid, and it soared from there. But far as the word passion, my passion comes from my history. So I told you all the amazing accolades that I've accomplished, but I didn't tell you about my first apartment was in West Terrace. I've been raped, beat, belittled, and everything that you can imagine, and I didn't sit there. So my real purpose is actually motivational speaking. With that being said, I want to help people break generational curses that come to homeownership, as well as their mental state that blocks them from becoming great. So I pour into people actually more than I do real estate. I do speaking engagements, as well as I have a YouTube series that's coming out called Everything Real Estate.
Okay.
I interview people, the must-knows in real estate, whether it's a lender or it's a grounds guy or a pest guy, understand the termites and how bad they are in Cincinnati. So I want to be everybody's full resource, whether you at the beginning of the process or at you at the end. But I also want it to be a great connection. Like, I want you to understand my passion behind what I'm doing. So, and be open to talk to me. Like, I'm available. Anybody can reach me. I'm not far-fetched. Even if it's 2 o'clock in the morning, I might not answer because I'm an early bird, but I'm available. So I'm just here to put my message out.
Okay. So when it comes to speaking, because when you talking motivational speaking, that's right up my alley. Like, I love motivating the people, man, because when you see the overall, it's time to get motivated because it's purpose overall. So when I'm hearing you speak about motivational speaking, what are some of your key topics? Like, who's your audience? Who is you?
So the good thing about me, full transparency, I had to go through 3 rounds of therapy myself. I love me a self-help book. So I cite people like The Power of Now, Eckhart Tolle. The Power of Now is an amazing book. The 4 Agreements, Don Miguel Luis. Like, I not only just speak to people, I create a message for the people, because I've been through so much, unfortunately, that I can literally create a message based on the people that you want to speak to, because I've been through a whole lot. So I don't discriminate on who needs the message. I have the message for you. If it's from my reality. So I speak from my own personal pain. I have been through a lot. So if anybody has been through a lot, they my audience because I can help you not only break mental barriers, but hold your hand to the other side of it, especially when it comes to home ownership or even stuff that's not home ownership. Like, I pour into people no matter who they are, so I don't discriminate.
Okay, yeah. Because when I first got into the game, so I was searching. I'm looking for mentors and coaches because I believe that I never step into a field without guidance.
Absolutely.
Because I look at it as walking into a forest, and I have somebody with me to tell me that don't go that way because somebody accidentally flipped the sign, and if you go that way, you're gonna sink into a big pool of acid.
Well, you also you have to be connected with your own self too. So I don't think there's anything wrong with having guidance or having somebody hold your hand to get you to your next greatest goal, but you also have to be passionate about it. Sometimes having your own passion can push you to be receptive to people pouring into you or telling you like, hey, you can do this better without them necessarily being your direct mentor. So sometimes it can just be getting out your own way and following your passion. And mentor and guidance will come. There will be people like, Monique, you could have did this better. I have a videographer that I take everywhere with me, and he pours into me like, Monique, maybe you should have turned this way, or maybe you shouldn't have did that. So on top of the fact that guidance is very important, but it's also more important to know that this is the direction that you want to be in. Once you follow your own heart, can't nothing stop you for how you get there. Nothing.
Right, and you can't. And it's just wild how, like, I'm looking, I'm searching, and I went to a person who I thought was gonna be my person, and the first thing he told me was, he was like, you need to find your audience. And I'm like, all right. So I go on Google, I use chat, I type in my message, and it came up with an audience, and I'm like, all right, so I'm gonna shoot for that. So I started making videos and stuff towards that, and I'm like, this is it, but this ain't it.
You ain't feeling it. It
wasn't that feeling piece. So I'm like, all right. But I also I ended up joining an academy where I'm learning how to be a masterful speaker stuff too. So
like-minded.
when I got into the academy and they started teaching stuff like that, so it's like they was like, you don't have to know your audience right off the bat.
Absolutely.
Like, figure it out. Like, just dabble in there. It ain't gonna hurt to dip your toe in the water and then see who that is. So now I know who my audience is. My audience is, I speak to the youth. Like, I speak to the youth. I speak to even some of the troubled youth, and I teach people how to find their purpose. And because I believe that if you start young and you catch them young and you teach them, because the brains are more accessible in terms of absorbing the knowledge because they don't have something, life in the way.
Yeah.
So I can teach them and guide them and show them the way and create a whole new, because mine are innovators, entrepreneurs. I create visionaries.
Yeah.
And so why not start with the youth? So that's my target audience.
I also piggyback on that. It is important to have a target audience. We know that I'm all real estate, so obviously people that either own homes or people that trying to sell homes, or again, I am so passionate about self-help and breaking generational curses. Even if you got a question about like, Monique, how did you get over rape at a young age, or how did you get over? I'm not gonna turn anybody down that just needs an ear. I'm so passionate about that. I will stop my day because that's just what I love. So with that being said, I've also learned the more authentic I become, my followers will find me again, and I'm gonna make space for them by coming on shows like yours or coming on somebody else's show. So I'm not necessarily worried about the following because I've been promised that if I keep getting towards this dream, my people will show up.
And I ended up joining a Zoom call yesterday. And in that Zoom call, somebody asked the question.
Yeah.
He was like, dude, how can I get paid? And it wasn't to me, it was to the coach. And he said, man, how can I start getting paid in my field, man? And he said this. And when you just said what you said, it brought that back. He said, serve.
That's right.
He said, serve, serve. And even if you got to do it for free, serve. Because when you serve, the money will come, the blessings will come. But you also have to have that pure heart. So I can see you, like, while you're speaking, like, I can, like, the words you're saying are painting a picture of where I can see you walking through the house and you got a whole new family with somebody with a brand new baby, and you start speaking life into them, motivating them, boom, right there on the spot. Because in order, I believe, like, I ain't in a real estate game, so I don't know how to sell no house, but I believe that what you would do is if you
ain't too wrong, you ain't wrong.
Man, but I believe that when you would sell the house by really speaking life over the house to them, right?
Yeah. I mean, and it's all about one thing I've learned about in management. So it touched base a little bit in management. I've been in property management, asset management over 15 years. One thing I've learned sitting on that side is learning how to listen. Sometimes that may not be what people need. Sometimes people may need a soundboard. They got a lot on their chest. So learn how to be a great listener and pour into a person for what they need sometimes is the best. Like I had a young lady, unfortunately, her husband had passed. So she was paying for a rental for her son that I was one of the asset managers for. And I'll never forget, this was over 20 years ago. And that lady just needed me to listen. She didn't know me. She had just lost her husband a couple days ago. I spent 40 minutes on the phone with her, didn't get none of my work done. But she thanked me because I said nothing, because I felt the pain that was in her heart. So it's stuff like that where it's with being a motivational speaker, you got to know when it's not time to motivate. Sometimes it's time to listen. Sometimes, it's all about feeling the people that you're around. When you have a servant's heart like I do, it's easy to do. I'm going to give you whatever you need. And any of my friends that know me personally know that I'm always there. If you need kind words, I'm going to pour them to you. And my kids, sometimes I motivate them, stress them out. I'm so motivational. Like, you can do this. Like, no, I cannot jump 6 feet. Mama, calm down. Like, but
if you try,
I promise you, you might go 5.5. And
all you need is one.
Right. And that's who I really am. So it's all about having a balance. Everything is it's not always a one size fit all in my industry and what I'm doing. So,
man, that's when you had that. I'm listening to you. And I hear you talking about the lady, and I just feel like the connections that you make with your people on a personal level, like it's like, even because motivational speaking, some people think you need to be on a big stage.
Nope.
And you don't need to be on a big stage to be a motivational speaker. Like if you're called to go to the homeless shelter and speak to the homeless, then that's what you should do. If you're called to go speak to corporate, you go speak to corporate. If you're called to go speak to children, go speak to children. If you're called to stand in the middle of the street and speak to ongoing traffic, I mean, I wouldn't want to neither. But if God was like, hey, I need you to go stand in the middle of the street.
Sometimes you got to answer the call.
And sometimes you got to answer the call, because being obedient to the call is like one of the most important things that we can do. And
Agreed.
Like I got a story, if you don't mind me sharing.
No, absolutely.
So
share your wisdom.
Like one of the things that happened was, I come back from the conference. I just got baptized.
Wow.
I had just got. Thank you. So I just got baptized, and I'm hearing the Lord very clear, because I was going through some things a couple months prior. So, and I go to the gym. I'm about to go train a client, but before I go to the gym, I'll go to Target. I know we ain't supposed to be supporting Target. But
no,
I needed me an energy drink, and they was the only thing available to give me some energy. So, but I had to go into the energy. I had to go in there, and I went and got the energy drink. They had a new flavor. It was a lemonade, sparkling. It was delicious. But before I got to drink it, I was in the line, and I heard the Holy Spirit talking to me. Give that man some money and give him something to eat. And I'm looking. First of all, I done emptied the bank account on investing in this whole, in my whole speaker thing. So I'm like, Lord, a client just paid me. I'm like, Lord,
what money, Lord?
And then I'm looking at my wallet. I only got hundreds in there. So I'm like, Lord,
can I break this 100, Lord?
I said, Lord, I don't want to give you no 100. That's where my mind went. I said, I don't want to give you no 100. So I'm like, man, nah, man, we ain't gonna do that. I go to the door, and I'm walking, and I said, not listening has not gotten me the results I want. Yeah. So I pull out one of them $100 bills. I walk up to him. I say, here, this is for you. He looks at me. He looks at it. He looks at me, said, what's this?
Yeah.
I say, it's a $100 bill. Here, you can have it. It's yours.
Yeah.
I don't want that. What you mean you don't want it? I said, I don't want it. You have a nice day. Here, you sure? I'm good. Have a nice day. I said, all right. I walk out. And I think to myself, I said, the Lord was trying to see if I was going to be obedient or not.
Knowing you really didn't have it to spare.
Knowing I didn't have it to spare, but he wanted to see if I was going to be obedient to the calling and if I really got baptized for the right reasons, right? And if I was really going to follow his will.
Yeah.
And I said, okay. Lord, thank you for letting me keep it because I needed it.
I know that's right.
but then I go to the gym and I just remember I said, okay, just being obedient. So anytime I hear that call, I gotta answer it. I don't even care if I don't got it. Hey, I don't have it here. Because now I'm a question that I always ask. I say, Lord, teach me how to serve because I want to learn how to serve because I wasn't selfish, but I also because growing up in Cincinnati, you have to kind of have like a hard exterior.
They growing up in the city in Cincinnati.
In the city in Cincinnati.
Absolutely.
And
I went through that phase too.
I grew up in the hood, so you can't always be so giving because then they start taking advantage. But then once I realized, like, oh nah, let them do what they do.
And you keep your heart still.
Because you keep your heart still.
That's right.
Because God's gonna bless you when you moving in the way that you're supposed to be moving, right?
That's right.
So I learned that in that moment as well. So once I answered that call, I don't think he been testing me anymore. I'm not sure because I just listen now. I just like, all right, Lord, here. If I gotta turn around, I do it.
Go towards the drink.
I go towards it. But then one thing I learned in my church too. The first lesson when I came to church was all you have is all you need. And
I agree.
Has never been a time where I ever went. Once I realized, I said, I have never not been without. Like I might have not had what I wanted, but when things needed to get settled,
there was always a way.
God always made that way.
And it takes. So I want to touch base on something you said earlier about interviewing people, whether you're in a boardroom or whether they're homeless. When you're the kind of speaker like me that's done both, I've been in corporate office, I've been in corporate America, I've also been homeless. I feel like it hit different when you're coming from somebody that had all those different facets of life. So I didn't want to cut your wisdom, but I wanted to say that. But I think that's very important to understand. Like for me, I feel like I definitely am more receptive to people that understand my purpose. Like I said, my first apartment was in Winter, so I understand exactly what you're talking about. Spent 3 years there. I grew up on the west side. So I know what it's like to have that also hard exterior that you think that you have to be in order to be accepted by everybody. And then I also, lucky enough, like I said, I've mastered a lot of things in the corporate sector too. So another reason why I don't discriminate when it comes to working or talking with people. I'll give anybody my ear because that's how it should be. When you have a servant's heart, of course I want to come on your podcast. I want to see you grow. I follow you now. Like instant connection, instant friends when I met you because I have a loving heart.
That's my dog right there.
Right, vice versa. It became to a point to where like we immediately greet each other with happiness whenever we see each other. So, and when you have that kind of heart, it's easy to want to pour into people. It's very easy to. So.
And having a servant heart is new to me. Like it's such a feeling of it's a light feeling to where now it's like I can move in the spirit and I move light. So then when it's time for me to
let me tell you how heavy I was when I felt like I had to be hard and gangster to fit in with people and I knew it was a facade. I knew I was a facade because I'm a lover. I'm
a lover.
The same.
I'm a hugger.
The same. Like I was somebody else, but again, it took me to get over the trauma, and that's why I have the skills to be able to teach people like you are not what you have been through, woman, or man, whoever you are not what you've been through, and I can show you the ways. I'm not just somebody that speak words into people. I give you resources. Here's how you break the generational curse. I was diagnosed with things that I've helped myself cure because I learned how to pour into myself. So with that being said, I love holding people's hand.
You got to. People, because it's like, so in my Bible study group, one thing that I've learned is like they have showed me a whole new side of people that I didn't know existed.
There you go.
To where this is my community now. Like, and that's another thing to where I'm hearing you speak on your real estate and how when people, they draw to you because now you're creating community.
I do.
And so when you create that community, you're no longer misunderstood. You're no longer unloved. You're no longer rejected. You're no longer deemed as crazy or insecure or you don't know what you're talking about. No, they greet you with love and perspective.
Agree.
And
Agree.
that's something that when you have to get out of your comfort zone to get into a comfort zone.
I agree.
If that makes sense.
Nah.
You see
Yeah,
what
no,
I'm saying?
it definitely makes sense. And it's just one of those things that it's like this goes back to purpose. If this is your purpose, no matter how you have to get there, you got to push yourself to get there. Whether it's motivational speaking, you want to fix cars, you have to find the drive behind your purpose. And sometimes some of us need help. I was one of those people that necessarily didn't need help. I know exactly what I wanted, but I know people that's like, girl, what you think about this? And I'm like, tell me a little bit about yourself. And you can hear people sometimes tell you exactly where they want to be just listening to them. So it's like, I think you should try this. And I never thought about that. And it's okay to be, one thing about me, I love a good mentor. I love somebody that can pour into me where I might not see that I need, right? So,
Right.
and that when you're open-minded to being a service heart, you also are very receptive to feedback and all this kind of stuff. So be okay with being mentored, being a mentor, having a mentor. Because sometimes it's not me just being a motivational speaker and I'm like, I'm here and I'm so important. Nah, I get poured into every day. I have several mentors that, I follow or I link up with. So I don't know, it's a great feeling to be pushing towards your calling and being able to help others. That's all I say.
Man, and that's something that we're talking about in church right now is discipleship. And
okay.
it's like when I see somebody and they're like, oh yeah, I'm a speaker and this, that, and the other, I say, for real? So I ask them certain questions because I've only been in the speaking field for not a long time, but the information that I've got and so when it's time for me to actually do my thing, I deliver.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, I feel like I over deliver because I want to over deliver. I want to. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm like, I love what I do. Yeah. And I actually love seeing people's life change. Like, oh man, that was deep. That was crazy. That was dope. And that's what it's about is when you find your purpose. So when I'm hearing you tie in all of your multifaceted endeavors that
we still ain't talked about some of the stuff I got coming out. So I do want to.
So you got, I mean, because we know you got a lot. You got.
I'm everywhere, y'all.
She do some of everything. I'm talking about.
Pinch.
I'm like, hey, next thing you know, she gonna be a professional skydiver with a message hanging out the sky. I believe she'll do it too. Just waving down like, you can do it.
I will though. Like, don't count that out. So,
I could believe she could do it though. But hey, so since you brought it up, come on, let's say.
Well, okay, so literally, y'all had to write this down. That's why I keep looking down. So, I am booking for speaking engagements again. Told you a little bit about my direction. I'm okay with creating a speech that meet the audience that you have. So I'm booking for speaking engagements. I also have a YouTube series coming out. I think I touched base on a little bit, but it's everything real estate. So I literally am recording my videos, so I won't be releasing them. But still, if you follow me, I'll eventually post them on my Facebook or my Instagram to where you can follow me on my YouTube channel. But it's gonna be such good information. It's gonna be stuff that you need to know, especially if you're from Cincinnati, because that's my hub, 513, especially if you're from Cincinnati. But also there's nationwide lenders that I'll be talking to. There's people with franchise in other cities. So don't count yourself out that you would be that I wouldn't be worth following if you're not from Cincinnati. So it's gonna be a little bit.
Is like a ballpark number that we can be expecting, like a ballpark date? I mean,
me and my business team, we are trying to shoot for December.
Okay.
As far as that, the next project that I have is I'll be actually publishing a book, which is both my passions. What I've talked about most of this is helping others break generational curses and mental barriers that stop them from greatness, and a first-time homebuyer book. So the two concepts will be mixed together, and I'm so proud of this. It's my baby. Like, I really care about this. And with that being said, it's for the person that's not necessarily don't even know where to start with the home ownership, but they know they deserve it. They believe in they. I literally probably am gonna call it the blueprint. That's in the works of what I'm calling it, because it's my blueprint. It's a personal story about how I became a homeowner from my first apartment being in Wind Terrace. Like, it's literally my story. It is not what you're gonna get at most like first-time home buyer classes, because everybody can be good at an industry. But I'm telling y'all exactly what I did to get there and how I got, 800 plus credit score and how I mastered these things. So, and with my book, if the book is purchased, which I'm trying to figure out how to right now get it published very cheap, it'll come with 2 classes where I will actually sit with you via Skype or in person to show you how to get the best out of the book. So those are 3 things I'm working on right now. But my possibilities are endless. And I don't know where I'm going or where I need to go, because again, I follow a lot of faith, just like you do.
Okay.
I'm following my passion, but I also follow the faith. Well, so if people just follow me, they'll see what things unfold.
Okay. Yeah, because I actually, when you were talking, I'm like, I actually know a couple publishers. So
that'd be great. We can definitely
I know
link
a couple
up.
publishers. So, and then I'm listening to you, and I'm like, that's a keynote. She got a keynote already wrote up.
I do.
I'm listening. I'm like, that's a keynote. So
a little bit of everything. But yeah, that goes back. So, but before I get off topic, look, he made me write this down because I didn't want to tell y'all my Facebook, because I always get scrambled. But please follow me on Facebook at Monique Slaughter. That's MoniqueSlaughter. And on Instagram, it is Moni_Slaughter. So that's MONI_SLAUGHTER. I look down like I ain't know how to spell my own name. Nervous, y'all. I'm always on the interview side. I'm never on this side.
Right,
I love it though.
I get it. I get it too. Somebody put me in the other, like, all right, I get it.
But this was fun though.
I get it. So, before we wrap up, anything you want to tell the people?
Keep going. As a motivational speaker, that's my thing every day. Just keep going and don't give up. Those are the 2 things that I feel like they can get you through anything. Keep going and don't give up. Even if it looks bad, even if nobody understands you, even if everybody's telling you it's something that can't be done, keep going. Even if the doctor says it ain't curable, keep going. I promise you there is light at the end of the tunnel with positivity.
Okay. All right. Hey, so do you have like a tagline, a slogan, a mantra?
Literally, how I open with, I'm Monique Slaughter, your favorite realtor and mindset motivator, here to help people break mental barriers. So follow me. I promise y'all won't regret it.
See? Hey, so I want to thank you for having me.
Wait, you had me. I didn't have you.
Oh, my God. I was the other way around. See, I'm so used to being on. See, my bad, y'all. I done messed it up. Nah, but... So I thank you for allowing me to interview you and telling me more about your purpose, what you do, the real estate, the keynote, the book, the poet, the skydiving, the lawn care service.
I'm gonna line your car up later. You want to get your oil change? I got you.
The barber.
Yeah, I'm gonna get you ready. You'll never know. I actually do hair. I did this. So
I do hair. So, and I appreciate you for that. So I want to end it by saying, when you see the overalls, that means it's time to get motivated, because it is purpose over all. And when there's a will, there's a way.